This is going to be a video that you probably will not have seen much on Game Dev YouTube before, where a lot of developers just don't survive long enough to even get to this stage at this point, let alone talk about it on a video. So here I am with my lovely co-founder, Thomas, and it's been over 4 years now since we started a game development studio. And I think instead of like top 10 tips or top 10 regrets or whatever, I want to talk a bit more about the human aspect of going through life as a game developer.
Yeah, the story of BiteMe.
Not the story, but like how our life has changed, how we've dealt with change. Because 4 years is longer than I expected as well, basically, that we've been doing this. And I mean, we've documented a lot of things on this channel. You can go back to older videos, but still, it's different. I think there's still a lot of stuff that we can tie back to game development, but this is kind of also a parasocial sitting on two bros talking about how...
Yeah, but also maybe you can get something out of it, because like, I think we've become more mature over the 4 years. Like, you're married now, you moved to Japan, a lot of random things.
Spoilers.
People know that already. But like, those things, they have an impact on the studio, on what you do. Because like 4 years ago, it was like 24/7 grind. And the way we handle with it, either we get comments saying how we should handle it, which is helpful for us, or we give you some new ideas on how you can make sure your wife doesn't bother you when you want to
make sure your wife doesn't want to kill you because you're like, ah, baby, I want to just develop this weekend.
Yeah, those kind of things.
Yeah.
Top 10 tips to survive.
Top 10 tips to keep the wife happy while developing games.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for that video. I don't know the secrets yet, unfortunately. So yeah, we started game development like basically the first weekend of January 2022. How much do you still remember of like that first year kind of when we started doing game dev?
I remember we did game jam-ish for the industry, and it was not that very successful.
Yeah.
And I remember we made our first videos where the first footage of Forge Industry was shown, which was very, very not pretty.
You used to be fat. That's also something you can see on like the evolution. I remember
I think I'm going back there.
Yeah, we're bouncing back, but especially like when I look back at like the first video you hosted, you were like a mini queso almost.
True friendship. I also remember then after that weekend, basically nobody was doing anything except for us. Like you were, not even you were doing that much either, right? Maybe. I think I was working a bit on Forge Industry.
That's true. We had a whole period that we almost didn't do
4 years, 4 months, 4 years.
Yeah.
4 months or something. And then I remember we, like the two of us talking like, we really need to do something with this.
Yeah, and it was like, were we two going to start something, or were we gonna get the rest of the team involved in it?
Yeah, because then we went to like the boys, let's go for a walk, and then we went for a walk,
and then we did like the pitch basically of like how would we?
Yeah, I think
we needed like commitment from them.
Yeah, I think we said something like, either you are in or out, that's fine. Either way, still good friends. But if you're in, we expect you
to do something.
To do something. More. And then to basically have, a grind set. That's how we started, right?
Yeah, I remember, because we started the paperwork in July, and then we had like the immediate goal of like, let's showcase our game on like Game Force, which is like a pretty big convention.
Yeah.
I forgot so much about the first year of...
Yeah, the first year was a roller coaster.
Yeah, I only seem to...
Because when you think about it, like, I don't know who it was, but like someone in the past couple of weeks, I think it was a family from my girlfriend, I was like, so how did you guys start? And it was like, well, if you think about it, we didn't really start in like July or August, I would say.
That's when we started.
And then we were like, we have a couple of weeks to make a game-ready build for the biggest Belgian game convention. And it was like, when you think back about it, it's like, who in their right mind does that?
Yeah.
But I do think we made a splash.
How do you feel like you were at life back then? Because we had all been, like, you've been working...
I was working for like...
1.5 years?
1 year? I started in July 2023.
What? No way. We started game development before...
No, my real job.
Your real job?
I worked already before I started game development.
Yeah, that's what I mean. How long? Because you said 2023 you started, but BiteMe started 2022. So I think
then it's 2022.
I think 2021.
2021.
You started.
I'm really good at 2021.
So you were working
July
for like
2021.
half a year, a little bit longer. Yeah, because you were like just getting settled in. I was working for 1.5 years at that point.
I think where I was in life was at that moment it was just go from one job to the other.
Yeah, did you have like a vision before BiteMe of like, how did you plan your like career? Did you have a career plan back then?
No.
I
knew, I basically knew I was going to be in safe hands with the company I currently work for. I think they're great. I knew that part was going to be fine. If I just did what was asked of me, I knew the growth was going to be there, and I had a lot of support from them, so I think that's really good. And then outside of that, I think I've always had I always wanted to do something.
Yeah, because you were starting dating apps.
Yeah, I built like a BiteMe. The name is from a dating app I made, and I like tuned in and some other apps, and
you were always busy already on like working on projects. So even probably if BiteMe wouldn't have started,
I would have done something.
You would have been an AI crypto bro maybe at this point. Yeah, maybe.
Like I would have done a project in IT. Yeah. That's for sure. That I don't doubt that. But yeah, I think there's a lot of growth in what I think you're young and naive in the end, right? I think that's what it boils down to. What about you?
I was like super comfortable at my job at that point because I think I was genuinely working like 10 hours a week or something, because I was it's not like a help desk, but it's like a pre-sales help desk basically, where other like account engineers and like whatever, like there's so many sales terms for it. Like if they don't know something, they would come to me, and I'm good at data centers, so I was like, it's easy. And I was also like, I was not bored out of my mind, but I was like, I have a lot of time available basically. Yeah.
And you
back then especially
made more in a year than BiteMe does ever.
Now, yeah, I was making stupid money as well, and I think that was also like I was yearning to do something else, but I think I realized that I couldn't do something on my own, is what it comes down to, because it's like I tried electronics, I tried 3D printing, I tried doing programming and things like that, but it was just never my thing. I was like, I need someone to complement my skills. Yeah. And that's, I think, why like BiteMe was a good choice for us back then. Yeah. I mean, still now.
Yeah, I still think that's why also I think when we started, you said like, hey, it was either the two of us or people can join, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And I think to this day, we complement each other pretty well. And we also, even though we have different skill sets and different ways we look at things, I think in the long term, like the vision or whatever you want to call it, I think it's pretty aligned. So I think that's really good. Sorry, I interrupted you.
I think that was kind of it, yeah. But back then, I don't think I had a girlfriend yet. I think I only got that one later. Previous girlfriend, not the one I'm now married to. You had zero hope back then.
I wasn't really trying because like I know like,
so we all just was like 100% BiteMe basically, especially for us back then. Even though we had our main job, but like the moment the job was over, it was just BiteMe. And I think it was very nice, honestly, because in the video you said like, I would work less. On the other hand, maybe I did romance, I don't know romance, but I did like, because especially that contrast with my job of like actually working on something and like having meaningful progress in that basically, versus just being like on call. I mean, nobody called me, but like waiting for work to come in, and then it's like, it's like a 1 hour thing and then I'm done. It was very different kind of fulfillment for me.
Yeah.
In terms of that, and I'm still very fulfilled by BiteMe, I would say, in terms of like how I can do a lot of different stuff in my job basically, instead of like hyper focusing on one thing. That's maybe just who I am as a person. I really like being a very good generalist over a super specialist. I think back then I didn't really know in my old job, did I want to go hyper specialized? I think back then that was kind of my thing, but I think I excel more at being like a very good generalist in life. So, okay, we started working on Forge Industry and whatever. So would you say the point that we were like, okay guys, you're in or out, is like the point that we went in on it serious, or when did it start feeling serious for you? Because for me, I think the answer is easy. It started becoming serious for me when I decided to quit my job to do this. Maybe some context as well of like why I quit my job was not just, I don't know why, but like my job was also changing. They were putting me more in like a sales role, and it made me miserable to the core. I was like, I can't keep doing my main job. Let's just say fuck it and go to BiteMe, because I had a nest egg basically. But for you, maybe it's I don't know what the point is. Was it like Forge Industries release or?
No, I don't think it was the actual release. I think the first glimpse of it for sure was Gameforce.
Yeah, when we were standing there with the booth.
Because like...
And then people came up to us like, who the fuck are you guys? We've never heard of you.
People in the industry like, what the hell are you guys doing here? It's like, yeah, I think that was the first moment. Maybe even that's the start of it. Because even after the release of Forge Industry, like I knew this was serious and all of that, of course.
Yeah.
But like we made a game and it kind of flopped or whatever it was called. Like,
did you think the video was the one that...
No, I don't think the video was what it killed her. But what I mean is after Forge Industry, I also didn't feel like this was the best thing we could do or whatever.
It didn't feel like we had reached like the point of like critical mass of like this is actually going to be a real company, not just like something we spun up for administrative reasons.
I don't remember how you phrased your question, but I see in the notes that it was like, when did it feel like an experiment? I think the experiment ended the moment we went to Gameforce. But I also think that the moment I saw the glimpse of hope, or whatever you want to call it, was probably only after UPT.
Yeah.
Because before that, it was very rough. Like, even though we had interns and all of those things.
Yeah, but the interns was just such a weird Belgian thing, basically.
Yeah, also. Of course. But what I mean is, like, in theory, it's like, oh, you have interns. Wow, you must be doing really great. It's like, no. No, we're not.
Yeah, we just get them for free and we have to take them. So.
Yeah. So it was like, only after UPT, when we saw the potential of what a game could do for us, I think that's for me was like, after seeing UPT, I think I've always had the mindset, maybe even before that, but at least from then, I've always had the mindset, if we continue like we do now, we will succeed.
Yeah.
You can say whatever you want in the comments, but I 100% believe that if we just keep going, BiteMe will make a massive hit.
At some point.
It's like the monkey typewriter thing, you know?
That's a lot of monkeys, though.
But like, that's probably how I feel about it. What about you?
Yeah, I think for me, it was very clear, like, when I quit, was the point of like, yeah, now...
Did you do it too early?
The thing is, you know, the hindsight is also a thing of like, it was just like, I was already kind of not working, like, I officially got moved to my new sales position in October. So like 5 months before I quit my job. But during those 5 months, I basically like quiet quit it. Or like, I realized like very quickly, this is not for me. My colleagues sucked. The work sucked. The things that I had to do. And it was also not what I had originally applied for. And I think I was kind of like, I knew, okay, in 5 months or something like that, I'm going to quit. I'm going to save as much money as I can still now to build up as much of a nest egg. But I wasn't really doing any work that I remember anymore. I was kind of like always on purpose being like, oh yeah, I'm working on this, I'm doing this, but like I wasn't really doing anything because I was like just miserable in terms of what I wanted to do. So is it too early? I don't think I could have done it for longer. It's kind of more what the thing is. It's like, should I have looked for another job maybe instead of going for BiteMe? That's maybe a different question you could ask.
Yeah.
It wasn't too early to quit Cisco because I couldn't stay at Cisco.
To quit some...
No, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah, I worked at Cisco.
Yeah, okay, yeah, fair. I assume you had a lot of pressure. Did you feel more pressure now or back then, and why?
I think back then, especially the first half year, I didn't feel that much... Right? No, not at all.
Oh, you didn't feel pressure?
I think I had way less pressure.
Oh.
I think the pressure only came... Like
when your runway dries.
Yeah, basically. Because when I quit, I had a lot of runway still. Yeah. Where I knew like for 1.5 years, I wouldn't have to worry that much. But then once we've gone like a year later, that's when I was like, oh, I don't know if the signs are fully there yet. Because 1 year later, we hadn't released Unicycle Pizza Time yet. Unicycle Pizza Time came out 1.5 years after I quit my job. And that's when it kind of started to like, okay, now we really need to log the fuck in. Whereas the first 6 months was more of that romanticized version of the idea of I'm gonna lock in, but there wasn't enough discomfort for me to actually have to worry about locking in.
Yeah, makes sense.
So I think now, or not now, I think actually now I have a lot more pressure, I would say, than when I first quit my job. Also because it's like, my life is more complicated, as in like, I now live in a different country. At some point, I want to buy a house. Back then, I was like, I'll make games and videos.
And we'll see.
And we'll see, yeah. And now that like, and we'll see is like coming to cash the check that I wrote out for myself 2 years ago, basically.
Yeah. It's an IOU.
Yeah. So I think, yeah, that's kind of where the stage that I'm at now.
Yeah. For me, I think the first pressure,
because you always had less pressure.
Yeah,
like on the other hand, no, because
the pressure I always felt is the moment you quit your job, I felt pressure. A month later, when William said I also quit my job, I felt more pressure, and then the same pressure came for a while, and then maybe it even faded. But then the moment you say you're going to move to Japan, those are big life decisions. There's almost no coming back from that.
Yeah.
And for example, also William saying like, you know, at some point I want to buy a house, all those things. Like, okay, I might not be directly responsible for that, but I do feel pressure because these are my mates.
Yeah, that's the thing that I have as well of like, I think that's why I'm maybe more pressured than like William, for example, because I'm also the guy who does like the finances.
Yeah.
So I'm the guy who writes William's space checks, and you and William are both friends, and it's like, you know, I would want to value him over me. That's why like he got paid earlier than me as well, because I was like, okay, I still have the runway. I just want to make sure that, you know, it's one thing for me to be like, oh, fuck it, I'll quit my job. And sure, he's responsible, like he's responsible for having quit his job, but still it feels like he only quit his job because we were charming enough to convince him to go onto this ride with us, basically.
Yeah, and that's the pressure that I feel then, because I don't want you in Japan being like, all right, we need to quit BiteMe, and then you're like, fuck, I need to move back to Belgium because I can't find a job here.
Or I need to work at a black company and things like that. Yeah.
Or and William, for example, I also want him to have a future, you know? And those are the pressure that I feel.
And those were pressures that once again you don't worry about when you're 23.
No.
Because it's like, I just started working. I don't think about buying a house now.
And also 4 years ago, William was like, I can keep living with my parents. But William also gets older, and at some point he's not going to keep living with his parents, you know?
Yeah, probably.
Like there's a due date on all of those things, and
I think that due date is creeping closer.
Yeah, of course,
way closer, and that's also that would then ramps up the pressure.
Yeah, because for example, a couple of days ago when we were out for an esteemed BiteMe dinner at the Burger King,
our dinners used to be about like, oh, what games did you play, or we used to gossip around other studios or something, and now it's like we were comparing house loans with each other. It's like, where the fuck did things go?
And then it's like, you know. For example, in that moment, you see a William. He's like, I want to move forward, but BiteMe is not.
You know that we're holding him back almost.
Yeah.
Even though maybe if he sees it's kind of like, that's not how I meant it, but that's how we feel it.
Yeah, of course, because he's like, I wouldn't want to work for any other company. This is he might, I don't know if he says like this, but like I think he's really happy with where he is, and I don't think he wants to go back to any other company, basically.
Because we have great benefits in terms of maybe not money, but at least like flexibility.
Yeah, all those things, and he doesn't have to deal with like a stupid employer and all of those things.
No daily stand-ups.
Yeah, all those things, like a massive benefit for him. But even then, you still want him to, you know,
thrive more.
Yeah, and that's the pressure that I usually feel, because then it's like, yeah, that's why also
it's kind of like being a father. No, it's like having kids, and you want to make sure they have a good life.
I guess a bit, but then it's also like the pressure that I feel then is I have my day job, so from money perspective I'm all right, but then for time perspective it's like harder. And then for example, we found the love of our lives in the past years.
Yeah.
Then it's like that's also pressure from them. And then you have pressure because, hey, you know, you need to have a social life. You need to go to a family party or something.
Yeah, or it's like, it's a Saturday. Let's go to a cafe and then walk around. And you're like, oh, but 1 year ago, a Saturday was just another day to work for me. And now I can't, because I like this person and I want to do stuff with this person. But you also feel that pressure of...
Yeah, especially because if you have, for example, a weekend and you're like, I'm going to have fun for the entire weekend. You're like... Not directly, but indirectly, you're hurting the future of your friends, so to say. So that's the pressure.
Maybe like a very concrete example of this that I'm still like not 100% of. It's like live streaming. So I live stream, and it was very easy back when my now wife, she had like a job and she was doing either morning shift or evening shift. So it was very easy. I could just live stream from like 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. without much of an issue. But then now she's like staying more at home because she's like in between jobs. She's not like jobless. It's a weird thing. But then I feel like weird because she's here she wants to spend time with me because she loves me, I love her, to then be like, yeah, honey, but I'm gonna now talk to random people on the internet for 3 hours and there's no attention for you. And even though, they say like, I don't mind this, even though maybe they don't mind, I still mind. You probably have this thing as well of like...
Yeah, I want to work for BiteMe, but I also want to spend time with my girlfriend. So it's like, you try to find a balance.
Yeah, so that's how we get to the thing of like top 10 tips to do game dev while living with your like partner, basically. Yeah. Have you discovered any secret tips?
Usually how we now do it is... during the weeks, it's not really an issue because at the moment she does like nanny stuff, so she's like home late.
But it's gonna be a problem next year, no?
True, but I don't want to think about that.
Have you been planning on that? Because you're planning on moving together in...
Yeah, but I'm not thinking about it yet. And then in the weekend, it's basically we try to do, but it's not always the same. Where it's like one day BiteMe and one day fun time.
Yeah,
and it's like the most simple. And of course, some weeks it's like, it's bad weather, we'll just work 2 days. Let's do an entire weekend, so it's nothing. And it's like on average, the goal is to do that. So it definitely has an impact on the studio. But on the other hand, you need to find a balance.
I think part of what like I learned as well, I think I mentioned in a previous video, is like you have to be more intentional now with the time. Instead of like, I'm gonna spend an entire day behind my computer and I'll see what I'll do. Like I have my lovely wife is a very sleepy bear. Is the best way I can describe it. So like, I have like from 6 to 8 in the morning, she's still like conked out in the bed. That's like the point that, okay, I have 2 hours now that I can kind of like, there's no shame in like working basically because I'm awake. I wake up like the moment the sun rises. Mm-hmm. And it's like, okay, I have 2 hours. How do I do as much meaningful, impactful stuff in that 2 hours to almost be like, okay, if I can get 0 things done for the rest of the day, I still don't hate my life and feel like I haven't achieved anything. And that external pressure almost does feel like it helps to a certain degree in making sure everything gets done. Or like you move with more purpose compared to before is something that changed for me, I would say.
Yeah. And I think an example of this, at least for myself, is over the years, I think I've more and more looked into ways to organize what I need to do.
Yeah.
For example, when I was working on a prototype for Artifacts of the Condemned, I made a big Excel. When we work on UPT, you made like to-do list. When I work on a game now, I almost always use Arcatrack because I want to clearly define these are the things that need to be done. So I don't have to, when I wake up, I go sit behind my computer. I have like, you mark things as priority. You see like, this is what I need to work on. And I'm going to just do this. While otherwise it's like, all right, now I'm going to think about what I'm going to do. And there's less friction there.
I also do something like I have like a little, I think it's like A6 or A7 size, like a tiny notebook. Mm-hmm. And like every day or like in the evening, I have like the structure of, I have one main goal and then 3 side goals basically. Yeah. And it's like, okay, if I do the main goal today, what's happy? And I write that the day before. And then like the rest of the page is like my little morning journal where I'm just like grateful for something or something that I fill in the morning. And then immediately I can see, okay, this is the main goal. Let's immediately work on this first. And then the 3 other goals are ideal. I try to also do a balance of like main goal is usually BiteMe. And then 2 out of the 3 side quests are also BiteMe. And then 1 is just like life related outside of BiteMe. Because I think that is something that I'm learning now more as well of like, there is more to life. Also, because I live in Japan. Japan is the land of amazing stuff. It's like, I'm more inclined as well to want to have more time to go and climb a mountain and visit a temple than here in Belgium, where it's just cold and miserable, which also changes your priorities, I guess, a little bit. And to a certain degree, I do miss being able to work like 16-hour days. Like maybe it's romanticized, but like
I get what you
sometimes
you mean,
the wife or the girlfriend is gone and it's like, let's go. We can go hard again.
Yeah, last week she was like, I'm going I have to do an extra day during the vacation for nanny. I'm gone the entire day. I'm like, oh no. And then I'm like working the entire day, like banging music and just vibing the entire day. Like you get a shitload of work done. And
it's like I wouldn't want to do that every day anymore.
Yeah, exactly. But then I think it's pretty fun when you get those days now. Mm-hmm. Well, before it was always the normal.
It was every day, yeah.
And now it's like I was really happy at the end of the day because like I felt super productive. I had a blast developing, and I think you value those moments more than.
Yeah, I think the one thing that I can't do or that I still struggle with is like days of zero work. They still make me deeply sad to the core. So even if she's like, oh, let's go out for like an entire day, I'll try to squeeze in something like early morning again.
Yeah.
Or find some way. That's like the time that like, I also still don't know. Have you gone on vacations recently?
August was the latest.
Yeah, it's like a full week of not working.
Yeah,
still
it's weird.
Is like,
cause, you know, in like a couple of months, I'll go snowboarding with my girl. And in the past,
you brought your laptop.
I brought my laptop because I snowboarded, and at the end of the day, I worked.
Yeah.
Like that was my vacation.
But it was like, I think you enjoyed it still. Like,
yeah, of course.
You did it to yourself. It's a weird thing, but I enjoyed it as well.
Yeah, I also enjoyed it. But like now, I'm like, I can't do that anymore. She will literally kill me. But yeah. So was that what you meant? Like the weeks were like I know, for example, when I went to France in August, like it was really relaxing, but I also was really happy when I could work
by the
again.
final days, you're like, okay, can we go now? I wanna like, let me work again.
Yeah, and probably that's not a healthy relationship with work, but whatever.
I think maybe something. I think it's something that you need if you want to run like a studio. Like if you have no desire to work after a week of already not working. I think that may be a red flag in terms of like, should you run your own studio? Almost,
yeah, true.
Where,
I mean, just for being an entrepreneur in general, I think to some degree you need to be a workaholic or whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
To
you need to have a drive to want to do more than the average person, basically. Yeah. And I think that's what I have multiple friends. Like I have Jamie, for example, who I know longer than you. But like I have a different kind of like friendship with you because we are way more aligned in terms of that like drive to do more than others, basically. And that is something that I also get a lot of like enjoyment out of by having someone else who has that drive. Yeah.
I think he means to say that he values me.
Absolutely. Hey, we can be nice. This is a vulnerable video.
Yeah. But yeah, for example, I think Jamie's a good example, not to call shade or anything, but like Jamie's a great example of he wants to do his 40-hour week, so to say, and then he just wants to relax, go have fun with his girl or whatever.
Yeah, he wouldn't have these problems that we have of like, I did 2 weeks with no work.
Yeah, and I think to some degree William is the same. Like when William was working a normal job still, I think it was like 4/5 that he was working. Even then, you saw that the amount of work he would do is limited. And even now, what I think William is really good about, and that's is he knows when to quit. Like he has his days where he goes for an entire day, like really long hours. But then you have other days where it's like,
today is not the day.
Today is not the day. I'm just going to play some games. Because like a couple of days ago, we had like a one-on-one. It's like, I'm not feeling that great. I'm just going to play some games. I was like, yeah, sure. And it's completely fine. But I think he's better at that because when I had COVID, I was like 1 day in bed. And after that day, it's like, I had enough of this shit. I'm working. And I'm like sick in bed with like a mountain of tissues. And then it's like, okay, I'm grinding again.
So yeah, one thing indeed was I found a girlfriend. The second problem that maybe...
You mean wife?
Yeah, back then she was still my girlfriend. The second problem that I then dumped on you that I want to know, because I don't think we ever talked about this really. I think it was just an announcement basically. It was like, okay, by the way, I'm moving to Japan now because my wife is Japanese, for those who missed that point. How was it for you when I said that? Because I think you mentioned it briefly before.
Yeah, so first thing that came to mind, I was like, oh damn. Because, I mean, you spent a lot of time in Japan already, so...
I spent like 3 months a year at most. Now it's
but that's
like...
quite a lot, you know?
Yeah, that's more than the normal person at least. Yeah.
But the first thing was like, oh damn, because of course I think you're a great guy, and I enjoyed our recording sessions or when we go out to do something.
I think he's trying to say that he appreciates me.
I am indeed. This is a vulnerable video. But like, that was like, for work, I don't think it mattered that much.
Okay.
I think it's more in a personal thing. It was like, oh, it's sad to only see you a couple of times a year, maybe.
Yeah, like now.
Yeah.
Basically, I fly over to record these videos. So leave a like if you like this style of content.
Yeah, because then next year when we are together once more. But like, I think the biggest downside is duo videos like this. They are a lot less common. But
in terms of the game dev business, you think there's an issue there?
I don't think so, because to some degree it's even handy.
Yeah.
Where if we're working on the same project,
there's no merge conflicts because you're sleeping while I'm working.
Yeah, it's like in the evening, I'm like, I pushed my latest changes. Please, can you take a look at this? And then he's like, all right. I wake up and it's done.
Yeah.
So in that extent, it's really good. I think for For BiteMe itself, it's not really an issue because, okay, the duo videos, I like them. I think you like them. The audience likes them. That's fine. That's like the only sacrifice it has. But I think it has a lot of upsides as well. So I don't think it's a net negative.
Yeah. At the end of the day, if I have to choose between BiteMe and love, that's why I was like, okay, I'm going to move to Japan.
But BiteMe is love.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do think to a certain degree, I think it has had benefits and downsides.
But if your wife is watching, he always chooses love, by the way.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I think like also for stuff like the streams and things like that, you know, having your own place, and I was able to like set it up very nicely. And like, I think like stuff like the streams are better and easier to do. Also, I finally have good internet there, which is impossible to get in Belgium. But then on the other hand, it's like, yeah, I do miss the stuff like this where I can sit down with you. I think we lose out on a bit of the like interpersonal stuff, but that also impacts the studio because when we are together, we talk about work and we improve BiteMe games, I would say, to a certain degree, but it gets harder to do now.
Yeah, for example, our executive retreats.
Yeah,
in the past,
retreats.
I've really liked, and I think they're also pretty useful.
It's basically just a fancy term for we spend like an entire day together.
Yeah, or like we go to the sea and we like spend a weekend there or whatever.
Yeah.
Where it's basically like we're locked in this room together. Make sure BiteMe is going good.
Yeah, and we kind of like plan what our games we would do, what are some things we would like, because there is just so much more that you can get from that than from a Discord call. Basically,
yeah, of course.
We still do our one-on-ones and our cores, but it feels like you can go less deep than if we just go to the Burger King together. Like there is just a different vibe and energy, I would say.
Because like you eat your burger and then you need to talk, but you have your food baby and you're like, I don't want to eat. Just me? Okay.
Just you, yeah. So how do you think current us would have done it differently? I know we did a video about like
what we would
have done differently, but you know, we now both get teleported back to 4 years ago. Would we like change a lot, you think, at the end of the day? Because, you know, I think part of the mistakes you make are required to get to the point where we got now.
Like, in general, I would do it all over again. Mm-hmm. Like, from start to finish, even with the missteps, even with the mistakes, if it meant we would end up here again. I'm pretty happy with where we are. Like, we're not rich, like, at all. Yet.
Maybe.
But, like, I do like... First of all, the vibe that we have within the company.
I think it's something that you can also only do by only being friends. I think we have something extremely special as a studio that you just don't find that much.
That's why we once had I don't know if it was a video or if it was in a call between us, where it's like, would we ever hire an artist? And it was like,
even if
it's going to be so weird.
Probably not. I don't know. If we would, it would have basically be on like a contract term, and it would be immediately someone senior who would like be able to work almost without us, where we can be like, this is the project.
Basically commissions only.
Yeah, but then like they have a good understanding that they don't need to do constant back and forths with us.
Yeah, because like indeed what we have is like unique, and that's why I think I would just do it all over again, because I think that it doesn't translate it now
it
to
doesn't
money.
Feel like a corporate normal thing as well. It has that startup vibe as well.
Yeah, it has a startup vibe, but it also just has the hobby vibe, for me at least, where it's like, I know you do it for your living now, so to say, but I think all of us, maybe, I don't know what type of fun it is, but I think all of us to some degree have fun.
Yeah.
And I think that's the most important part of doing this, because if you're going to hate your job at BiteMe, why are you at BiteMe and not just earning money somewhere else?
Yeah, have a normal.
Then you should have stayed at your...
Yeah, I think it's also, you know, like, it's like the work-life balance thing of like when we had the interns, it's suddenly like, oh, we're working on a Saturday. And it's like, oh, I needed this. And it's like, oh, but I can't send them anything.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's like, you're all in this together. We all know each other also just as friends. So it's like, oh, I can just ask him and like, you'll immediately answer.
Like, it's a bit like, there's like this shape where you put like the things over each other and it balances it out, even though there's not one supporting thing. You have no idea what I'm talking about.
I have no idea what you're talking about either.
But it's basically, if you all lean on each other's shoulder.
Oh, yeah. I know, like the tensegrity kind of stuff.
So basically, that's what we are doing. And that's why I think I wouldn't change anything, because BiteMe grows when we grow. And I think we need to make mistakes to grow. That's why we always were like, okay, we make mistakes, it's fine. We just try. And I think that's good. What would I change? I mean, I would just take the knowledge I have now and try to make less mistakes. Yeah, but that's only because I now
accelerate basically the journey we've done so far. Instead of spending 7 months on Guild Architect, only spend 3 months on it.
Yeah, for example. And that's like the only thing I would change, I think. If I, like, we went more in depth in the other video, but like on a broader scope, I would just do it over again. What about you?
Yeah, I think I wouldn't change much either. So if we do this video again 4 years from now, so we've been done 8 years of game dev, what would you want to kind of be the talking points then? Because I feel like, you know, if you look at the history of the company as well, most of our change, you know, like you have like anti-day and like after God, like Jesus for like the dates. It's like before unicycle pizza time and after unicycle pizza time.
Unicycle pizza time is Jesus? Is that what you're saying?
It's a very monumental part of BiteMe, I would say right now. Yeah. So I feel like our studio only became a studio in the last 1.5 years almost. So it feels like if we now have another 4 years, it's kind of like we're gonna do way more than in the past 4 years.
Yeah, for sure. I would hope so. Like even if,
how do you think that would change? Like what would have changed in 4 years from now? We'll be recording this from our private villa in, I mean, somewhere Bali or whatever.
No, you're Japan, right? You're not gonna move back, right?
Nah, we just rent it out for a week for our executive retreat.
Fair. I think what will change in 4 years is, first of all, I 100% believe that we will be very, very financially stable. Like we will be thriving. I think that's the only mentality you need to have. If you have anything else, then what the hell are you doing?
You think we'll be the hopium for other game developers?
Yes.
By then? Yes. They'll all look at us like, you know, like how people look at Jake Burkett. Everyone talks about him.
I think about, this is going to sound so scummy,
but game dev legacy.
BiteMe is going to be the continuation of the Eric Barone story and so on. Where he had massive success. He was working on it solo and he did it his way. And of course, he did great work and he had his massive hit. But I think our story is different because
it's all public.
I think it's all public and we fail publicly and you learn from us. And for example, there are like every game that is released and is the first game ever and it's a massive hit. You don't learn shit from that.
Netflix is going to make a documentary about us.
Maybe. But what I mean is like we are walking down a road which has a lot of hardship on it and had a lot of hardship on it. And it's the way we overcome it. That's where we've learned from and where other people learn from. And what I also, the key takeaway want to be then is, I assume we will succeed. That's the first thing you say. But then if in 10 years someone watches how BiteMe did it, the only thing they need to remember is
they just kept going.
They just kept going. Look at where we started. Look at the first, put the footage up of the first devlog. This is where we started. Like, put it over my head or fill the screen. I don't care. Like basically something like this is where we started. I believe in 4 years we would have made it or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But the takeaway is then just we kept going.
Yeah. So
that's what the BiteMe legacy should have been. It's like you're just stubborn and you just don't give up.
Yeah. I think the BiteMe legacy is just like have inspired a bunch of other game devs to try this new style of maybe even like, you know, doing the hybrid of like also content and all of those things and trying to be a bit different in terms of what they do.
I don't know how we got there, but I don't think that was your question. But either way, this is
how do we, like if we were to record this video again in 4 years, what would have changed?
I think we would have succeeded. And I think we will have succeeded in the same way that we are moving right now.
You think you would still be doing your main job in 4 years?
No. When I started BiteMe...
What's like your freedom number?
I don't know. But like when we started BiteMe, like I really quickly started saying, I won't do this for 5 years. Where I have my main job and BiteMe.
Now it's almost 5 years.
Yeah, but the thing is, it didn't really start. I would say at the beginning, but like the timer started later than when the company was founded.
It's at the UPT.
Yeah, maybe something like it. But like the point is, I won't do this infinitely. Like I work for BiteMe a lot of time, and it's basically for free, and that's fine because I want to.
You get more equity if we ever get bought by some Saudi Arabian oil fund.
I have the equity, and of course, it is also the potential to work full time for it without needing to take the risk that you did, for example, and so on. Like it has benefits, of course. I think if in 4 years I didn't quit my job, BiteMe failed.
Okay. The timer starts now.
Yeah, like in 4 years, come back to this channel. You will have forgotten probably, but if you don't have a great memory, just come back here, like put something in your calendar. See if I still...
see if we made this video, if you're still here, if I record this myself, and you know,
if I'm only
gray hair.
or only I'm sitting here.
You've taken like...
Or William. Who knows what the future will bring, right? But I think BiteMe would have failed if in 4 years it's not something that we can do.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a very good indicator. I think 4 years is still plenty of time to make things work.
Yeah.
Dare I say we can do it in 2 or less.
2 or less, for sure.
2026 is going to be the year we make BiteMe Games $1 million studio. But you need a $10 million studio to quit the job. That's the year after.
I mean, it depends, right? We just... we'll see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But, what will not change is that we're going to be open about the process.
I think that's one of the core values. Where I don't know what the corporate term for it is, but like basically, I think that's also one of the strengths. It's like you know, when we go back to the road, the hardships, whatever. Mm-hmm. The fact that you do this publicly, I think it shows a lot of nerve, because you're like, hey world, I failed. Who the hell does that? You don't come home. Imagine you like do a competition. It's like, I came in last, mom. I came in last. You're not happy about it. You don't want to broadcast that. Yeah. You only do it when you succeed, right? And I think we failed a lot.
But now it's time to start succeeding.
Yeah, but you learn from it, and you know you were like I don't watch it anymore, but like in a lot of anime, it's like someone is super OP. You know, like the Sasuke or whatever, and you have like the Naruto, which is like useless, and then we can be him stronger, and at the end he's like a god. That's BiteMe. BiteMe is your anime main character.
That's the way to view it. All right, guys, leave us your comments, because the BiteMe audience is older than us on average. Those who do live together with their lovely wives.
Yeah, what are your top 10 tips?
Because he's moving in with his wife in a few months, hopefully, if his house gets built. And I don't want BiteMe to fail then. So give him some tips now. Give me some tips. And maybe you can guarantee the fact that we'll be here in 4 years still, indirectly.
And if this is the kind of content you like, I would want to say you can find more on our channel, but I don't think that's true.
I think there's a lot on YouTube, yeah.
Yeah, but hey, you can still give us a like and a subscribe, I guess. Yeah.
So thank you very much for watching. We upload 2 videos every week where we talk about game development in general and things that we learn along the way. Like you can see us fail or succeed in real time. So if that's something you're interested in, be sure to head down below and subscribe. And yeah.
Time to start winning.
We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.